I don't know. After hearing him calm and talking about the tether story, it's probable.
Go down to the county attorney's office. I think you'll find a lot of humans down there.
All right.
No disrespect.
Stop driving.
I'm flirting with the judge in front of my dad.
What's going on? How's everybody doing? I can't hear myself. Can you guys hear me? All right. I can see the mic popping up. Here I am. How's everybody doing? Before we get started, thank you, Fred. Thank you so much. Pre-7K. Pre-7K. I'm looking to see what the sub count is right now. I've been at 6,999 for about 45 minutes, and I have never disliked the number 69 more in my life than I do right now, because I've been staring at it for 45 minutes. One sub away from 7,000, so we can't celebrate it yet. But Fred, thank you so much. That's very generous. Thank you so much. How's everybody doing? I don't even think I said my. Hold on. We're gonna start this over. What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? A happy Wednesday night. All right, there we go. Now we can officially start. AAU, what's up? Good to see you. Mary, Jonathan, Leanne, hey Jay, Heather, as always, Lolly, welcome. We got Sashina. Sashina, thank you for stopping by. Robert from Germany, always a pleasure to see you. Monkey, you know you're a legend. We have Mary, Felon. Is it Felon? Felon? Felon Art? Felon Art? I don't. I could be way off. I think I got mostly everybody. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Hello to everybody else. All right. We are one sub away from 7,000. It's a big deal. So hopefully by the end of the stream, we will hit that. Can you guys hear me? I can't hear myself in my mic. I don't know if I don't have it set up right. But usually I can hear myself in my ears, and I can't right now. So I know I've been... oh, there we go. I had my volume turned down a little bit. Now I can hear it. All right. Now that I've been talking to myself for the last 5 minutes. Welcome, everybody. Got some good court. Got 2 clips from DiSanto. The first one's a long one. I'm going to warn you right now, it's long. But it's good. Grandma had enough shit with her grandson. So she took him to court. It's a good one. But it is long. Wait, did I hit 7K? Everyone's saying 7K. Did I hit it? I did. Whoever was the 7,000th person, thank you so much. I was one away for, like I said, the last 45 minutes to an hour, and I was staring at the number 69 forever. It was kind of funny. Christy, welcome. All right, now I'm just Chris. Welcome. Now I'm just rambling now, but it's my channel, right? So I can just ramble as much as I want. Judge DiSanto first. Judge DiSanto second. And then we go to Mechanico. That's on the lineup for tonight. First clip is a long one. Thank you, Heather. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Debs. Thank you, everybody. So let's get to it. What do I say? I'm at a loss for words. Thanks, Mike. Denali. I just got excited because every milestone I hit, I get really excited. So what do I say? Step 1, step 2, like and subscribe. Step 3, step 4, jump kick backflip. I haven't done a step 5 in a long time. I stopped doing step 5s. Let's think of a good step 5. What can our step 5 be tonight? You know what? I'll think of one. I'm not gonna make you guys sit there. But yeah, like, subscribe, jump kick backflips. Link tree's down in the description. Let's have a party tonight. 7K. It's a big deal. All right. Now that I've been rambling for 5 minutes, Let's watch some court. Let's go.
Forward. Actually, I'm going to have, we'll have Mr. Livernoy on this side over here, and then Salisbury's, you can go on that, at that table, please. Okay, so I'm going to have everybody please stand up. I see there's 3 people there. Okay, so Betty Salisbury, can you please state your name for the record?
Betty Salisbury.
Tanja, can you hear that or no?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Salisbury, can you please state your name for the record?
Jacob Salisbury.
Tanja, can you hear that?
Yes.
All right, and ma'am, what is your name?
Katie Bronco.
Okay, I need you to state and spell your first and last names, please.
It's Katie.
Mimi, that's my line.
And then Bronco, BROWN FIELD.
Okay, can you hear that, Tanja?
She sounds muffled. Can she repeat the last name?
BROWN FIELD.
Okay. She's saying Brownfield.
Brownfield, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Okay, and then Mr. Livernoy, if you can please stand up and state your name.
Yes, Tyler Livernoy.
I think you might have to be a little louder. Were you able to hear that or no?
No.
No, you need to be much louder, sir.
Tyler Livernoy.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And so if I recall correctly, last week, I think it was last week, everybody was on Zoom, or
10 days.
no, 2 days, yes,
10 days.
yes. And I had indicated I needed everybody to come in person because there was a lot going on. So everybody's in person, and who is Miss Brownfield?
She is my sister.
And Tyler's mom?
No, she isn't. She's just my sister. She lives in the house too, so she came here.
Okay, so all right, Betty
Yes.
and Katie. Jacob, do you also live in the home?
Yes.
All 3 of you live in the home,
Yeah.
and so does Tyler.
Yes.
Okay. Tyler, you live in the home?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize I was unmuted.
We're gonna have everybody please raise your right hands. The other right hand, please. Thank you. Do you all solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
I do.
All right, thank you. Okay, so how long has Tyler been living at the home?
Since he was about 3.
Okay, and so your name is Betty.
Yes.
Okay, just because my recorder's remote today, I just need anybody who's speaking to just state your name first
Okay.
before your and you can just state your first name, doesn't have to be your full name.
Okay, so Betty and yes for since he was 3.
You are not wrong, Monkey. You are not wrong.
Okay, and you filed this action in November, correct? The notice to quit was in,
We filed it in October 9th. And the notice was given to him on September 7th. Jacob.
okay. And let me just see here, this was a,
Nancy, I'm good. How are you?
I don't know why some of these are not working.
No, I not only forgot to.
This is supposed to be progress.
I turned my camera off.
Okay, let me check one. Okay. So All right, and you want him to be removed from the home because he's making things difficult.
Jacob, yes.
And if I recall from the last time you were present, he doesn't clean up after himself, he's rude. Those were what the statements were, correct?
Jacob, yes.
Okay,
Fred, you are fucking amazing. I'll thank you officially after this clip, but thank you so much.
Tyler, do you work?
Off and on, I've been struggling recently.
Okay, and why, are you struggling with work?
Just have bad luck in some jobs, I'm getting treated badly.
Okay, so I think you're gonna have to hold the microphone up because I don't know that we can hear you.
Okay. Just been getting unfortunate, unlucky. We made martial deals to leave me alone to not get harassed or abused.
I'm sorry, you've made what? Marshall deals?
Like, no, we made like, you know, if I work, they would not harass me, they would leave me alone, they wouldn't call me retarded, they wouldn't call me stupid, they wouldn't call me a punk. They wouldn't I don't know if I can say this, but I'm just gonna say the truth. They'd call me a bitch, a pussy, a lot of times, and even my grandmother, you know, she would tell me how her Aunt Katie Brownfield would tell me if she was a man, she would beat my ass, and Jake said that too. And I gave him an outlet to go to a martial arts gym. I never said I would put my hands on them. I gave them an outlet for their anger, since, you know, they called me names, and that's how I process. Just, you know, if that's how you feel, there's a legally way. Please don't do this. They said I try to put my hands on them. I don't say that. You know, after I get harassed and after I dealt with it for 17 years, a lot of my life, and I've never like said anything. And now I kind of just like say, this is just, I'm young, so I'm not.
Hold on, sir, how old are you?
I'm 21.
21, okay. And, Betty, it's your home?
Yes, it is.
Jacob, it's my home too. We're both on the deed and mortgage.
Okay, and how long have you been residing at the home, Jacob?
I've been residing in the home since, my whole life.
How long is that?
I'm 36, about to turn 37, so I lived in the house in 1990.
Okay. And so are you Tyler's father?
I am Tyler's uncle.
Okay, I understand that. I just wanted to confirm that I
Yes,
wasn't
okay.
losing anything. Okay, and so Katie, how long have you lived there?
I've lived there the past 6 years. I had a house for 4 years, and before that, it was my whole life. So I'm 33, and out of 33 years, I've lived there 27.
Okay, so you all grew up with Tyler.
Yes,
Yes.
my mom took care of him because his dad and mom wasn't in the picture.
Okay. And so, Jacob, why do you still live at home with your mom?
Well, I was going to school and I stayed there. And then my dad passed away 2 years ago. And I'm still at home, and because his name was the only one on mortgage, my mom only gets disability. So I have a job, so that was the only way we could keep the house, because if not, the bank could have took it away because they would have stopped taking our payments.
Okay, you said that your dad's name was the only one on the mortgage.
Yeah, in 2021 when he passed away.
Okay, then since then, both your mom and your names are on the mortgage.
Yes, because we did a remortgage to take it out of his name and put it into our.
Okay. Katie, why?
All right, I gotta stop it for a minute. For everyone that doesn't know what's going on, everybody on camera, besides Judge DiSanto, we have Grandma. She's the short one. Then we have the uncle and the aunt. I believe that's who they are. The kid they're trying to evict, you can't see on camera. He's to the left. They do move the camera a little bit later so you see him. But they're all fed up with him. They raised him. What they just said, his mom and dad weren't in the picture, so they raised him. They gave him a room, a home. They raised him, but they just don't like how he's acting. and they brought him to court for it. We saw something similar to this. This is about a month and a half ago. I played a Judge Simpson clip that was very similar to this, where a dad took his daughter to court for the same thing. Just was tired of them acting up. But let's keep going. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up of what was going on. But this is a motion to quit. They're kicking him out. That's what this is. But hello, everybody. If you haven't done so already, like and subscribe. Also, 7K. 7K. It's awesome.
You used to live at the home with your mom.
It's expensive to live on your own. I was gonna move before my dad passed, and then when he passed, me and my family stayed so we can help her out.
So how many are in your family?
4. I have 2 daughters and a husband
Okay,
that live in the same home.
anybody else live in the home?
Yes, my brother Adam.
Your brother Ed?
Adam
Adam.
Salisbury.
And how old is Adam?
Adam is, he's about, I want to say 42, 41.
Okay, do you have any other children, Betty?
His mother,
Okay, and where is she?
she, lives in a trailer park in Southgate.
Okay. All right, so I am counting 8 people live in the home.
Yes,
And what size is the home?
Grandma owns it. Grandma's the short one next to the big bald guy. They never say how big the home is. They'll talk about who has the rooms, who has what rooms and whatnot. That's all we know. They don't say the square footage or anything. 8 people live in grandma's house.
it's a 4-bedroom and a basement. So
Is it a ranch, colonial?
it's a
Bungalow.
house. It was built in 1922. I don't know what kind of house it would be. It's a house.
Okay, is there 2 floors or 1?
There's 2
And the basement?
and the basement.
Okay. And so,
Everybody has their own space. Katie's girls share a bedroom. Tyler had his own room. I had my own room. Katie and her husband had the room that's downstairs. And Jake and Adam both had rooms in the basement.
okay, so within the basement, there's other bedrooms.
Yeah, there's 2.
Okay. So how long, so who filed the notice to quit?
I did, Betty, I did, and Jake, I did. Because it came down to, we had a disagreement. I went to the store, I bought some power aids, and I bought them for Tyler. And when he came downstairs, I said, hey, Ty, I bought you a couple power aids. They're on the front porch, because our front porch is enclosed. He went to the porch, he got the power aids off the porch, and he started opening the bottles, dumping them out, saying, I didn't ask you to buy this. I told you not to get me nothing. And we ended up getting into like a wrestling match, kind of like I'm trying to get the power aids from him, saying, if you don't want them, we live in a house with 8 people. Somebody else is gonna drink. Stop it.
Right,
So he got 2 out, and I took the other 4 and I put them on the other side of the kitchen. And I went out on the porch, and I came back in, he had poured those out too. But when me and Tyler were doing whatever we were doing with the power aids, I was trying to stop them.
Hey,
My
Lolly.
daughter, Katie, was in the kitchen, and when she seen us going at it, she yelled at Tyler, get away from my mom, leave my mom alone, because she was afraid Tyler was gonna hurt me. And then after that, he got mad, he went upstairs, He kicked the bedroom door off the hinges. He said, Katie locked the door from inside and shut it. But there's other ways of opening your door. She didn't do that, but there's other ways of opening the door because he's locked it before. You take like a credit card or whatever, slide it down the lot, and it opens. This door that he kicked in was original to this house. This house is over 100 years old. And it's solid wood.
Were the police called?
Yes, they were.
Is there a police report?
There should be.
Do you have a copy of it?
No, I don't.
Okay. And so, that is what precipitated the notice.
Yeah, because I don't want to live with someone who is going to destroy my house. And not only that, he has been misbehaving for years. I mean, he calls me nasty names. Nobody in my house talks to me the way Tyler does. And I have done a lot for Tyler, whether he'll admit it or not. You know, I paid his car insurance for about 2 years. He gave it to me once in a while when he had the money. I paid to maintain his car.
So Sheena, we all love you. I'm just glad that you're making it. You're doing your own YouTube channel. You're awesome. And I want you to keep being awesome.
His birthday last year, Jacob bought him tires and bought him a battery. When it came his turn to maintain his car, he didn't want to stick any money in it and he junked it. So now he doesn't have a car. So it's kind of like,
All right.
if you live with somebody, we're a big family. Everybody has to respect everybody. And if you get that angry, you just walk out the house, go for a walk, you go somewhere else. You don't go crazy.
And so Katie, do you work?
No,
No. Does your husband work?
yeah,
Do your kids work?
no, they're 8 and 12. They go to
Oh.
school.
Okay, well, good. All right. And then Jacob, you work.
Yes, I work.
Does Adam work?
No, he had disability. He had back surgery about, I want to say, back in November 2021,
Okay,
and it still hasn't been right since he had the back surgery.
okay,
But he does collect the social security disability.
okay. Tyler, do you get social security disability?
No.
No. Okay. And so,
He has applied for it though.
okay. So,
While working,
I'm sorry?
while working, I'm working jobs and I applied for it
Okay.
because I know I'm.
So let me ask this question. Did that occur with the Powerade?
You're not told the full thing?
Hold on, no. Did
Yes.
an incident occur with the Powerade?
Yes,
Okay. And so did you take the Powerade and pour it out?
yes.
Why did you do that?
I did because I was in my room, they come in my room being loud. They asked me, do I want something? I said no. They asked me like 10 times. They literally, after I told them no 4 times, they called me. I told them no. I just said, please, I don't want that thing. I don't want that thing. Can you just respect me? I don't want that thing. And then to answer your question, that's really why. And then
So wait a minute, let me just back this up a minute. They asked if you wanted anything from the grocery store,
dude, I just said no
and you said no.
a lot of times.
Okay, so they continued to ask you to confirm that you didn't change your mind and that you didn't want anything. And so then when your grandmother informed you she brought Powerade home,
I paid for it, but yeah.
how did you pay for it?
I have a food stamp card. She had my food stamp card, she paid for it. And I was just, I said no, and then she wants to put her hands on me.
Hold on. So
And then I
she
slept.
said, so you said no, so you took the Powerade that you're stating that you paid for, whether you paid for it or not, is not really relevant. But you took the Powerade and you started pouring it out on the porch.
No,
No, where'd you pour it out?
in the sink.
In the sink.
Yes.
So you took the Powerade and you poured it in the sink.
Yeah.
Because
Just pride.
pride.
Yeah.
Pride. But you're,
A lot of history too.
clearly there's a lot of history. Okay, it appears as though all of you have been living together for quite some time. It appears as though patience has run out with behavior.
I wouldn't say that. I would say you're being told a part of a story that favors their word. But, you know.
No, sir, listen, I've heard your testimony so far about the names that they've called you, that you said that they've called you, and I've heard testimony regarding the powering situation. Okay, so right now, nobody's really in great favor with this court at all, quite frankly. What is obvious is that the 8 of you, at least for the last 6 years, have all lived together.
Yes.
Yes.
You,
No.
no,
No, I've lived in my car. I've lived with friends, maybe not on paper, but I've slept in my car. I've slept
Oh, yeah,
outside.
okay,
maybe we should tell you.
hold
the
on, please, just one moment. Okay, so other than a few times, or the times that you've lived in your car or stayed with your friends, all of you have resided together for quite some time.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And it's clear that your grandmother is the individual that raised you, correct?
Legally, yeah.
But,
What other way, and who else did? Are you going to tell me you raised yourself?
Honestly, yeah.
And how did you do that, sir?
I got a roof over my head, food. I appreciate it. I tell them thank you every day for it, but it's just, you know, I tell them thank you every time. Even when it gets shoved.
So I'm sorry, so I still haven't heard how you raised yourself.
Well, I guess, I don't know, it was like my own father. I mean, I don't know. They gave me clothes, they fed me, they gave me a roof, and I appreciate that very much. But how I raised myself, I pretty much taught myself that everything I know, everything I've ever learned was through me. I didn't have a mother, I didn't have a father. And my grandparents and my uncle or whatever, they just thought I was stupid and undermined me. So, I mean.
What do you mean? They thought you were stupid and undermined you. What does that mean, sir?
Toxic environment for anybody, especially, it's just too much for anybody to handle. And I'm not a genius. I would consider myself an idiot,
Why would you consider yourself an idiot?
because there's a lot I don't know.
So there's a lot that a lot of us don't know. That doesn't mean anybody's an idiot.
If you don't know something and you have no knowledge of a lot of things, what does that make you?
It just makes you, sir, uninformed. It puts you in a position to learn more information. It doesn't make you an idiot.
I agree with you, but how am I gonna learn if I don't accept the truth?
If you what?
I won't learn unless I accept the truth.
What's the truth?
Let's say what.
This actually reminds me of a good time. Two different thoughts. Good time to pause because it's been X amount of minutes, so I need to pause it. But what Phil just said, reminds me of a really good quote. If you raise your kids, you get to spoil your grandkids. If you spoil your kids, you have to raise your grandkids. Is this kind of what we're talking about right now? This is the grandkid, but we don't know what happened to the parents. At least I don't. They said it's not part of his life. I hope they didn't pass away. I hope I didn't miss that fact. If that happened, then this isn't relatable, and I'm really sorry that I'm even making this comment. But while I'm paused, Fred, legend, Mimi, legend, both of you, thank you so much for the donations. If anyone else would like a shout out, Linktree is in the description. I'm sure one of my mods will drop it, and you guys can, have a donation war if you feel like it. All right, enough of you begging. Let's go.
What you're doing right now in your job, I have no idea on it. So I'm gonna consider myself like a toddler, and then I can build up to learn like an individual. But that's how I feel about life. But
Okay.
there's things I'm good at, of course. I'm not an idiot, but then there's a lot of things in life I have no idea.
Okay, there's a lot of things in life I don't have a clue on either, sir. Just so you're aware, just because I sit here doesn't mean that I
I was just saying.
I'm just letting you know, sir, that I'm here in this position, but I didn't know how to do this position my whole life. I've had to learn, I still don't know how to do everything in this position. It's all a learning experience. So I'm not sure why you're telling yourself that you're an idiot.
I mean, I guess growing up, their dad would just call me retarded and stupid.
Who's dad?
Jacob Salisbury and Jeannie's wife. They'd call me dumb, call me stupid. I mean, I would be having cussing battles when I was 7 years old to 10 years old, or older, being called a retard, being called a N-lover, just
Okay,
being called
So-
a faggot.
okay. Did any of that occur?
Jacob, yes, my dad did make fun of him, but it wasn't just him, he did it to everyone.
I'm not looking for justification, I'm just asking if that occurred.
Yes, it occurred.
Okay, did it occur from other individuals other than your father?
No,
You've never called Tyler any negative names?
not to the extent that he's saying, maybe when he does something stupid, I might say it's stupid.
And Ms. Brownfield, what about you?
I think Tyler has a lot of mental problems.
No, that wasn't my question.
No,
What about your husband?
no, my husband don't speak to him.
What's that?
They're homophobic.
No, we're not, you are.
I'm gay.
He has the thing that he says that other people have a problem with it, but no one has a problem with it but you.
Have we ever heard the "I know you are, but what am I" defense in court? I think that's the first time. Pee Wee Herman, where are you right now? Where are you, Pee Wee Herman? We need you.
We're not addressing each other.
Yeah, but no one has a problem with it but him. I think each person to their own, who you like or who you don't like, has nothing to do with how you should treat other people, or that's their business, not my business.
Okay,
But I have nothing against anybody in any type of way. And
so
Mr.
what about
Livermore-
your husband?
No,
But your husband doesn't speak to Tyler, so why does your husband not speak to Tyler?
because Tyler don't know how to act.
What does that mean?
He tries to fight, he gets in my face, he'll yell at me, he thinks that everyone in the house, he wants to fight everyone if there's a problem or anything. He'll get this close to your face and try to fight me. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fight you, I'm a woman.
So you testified that
And-
you think that Tyler has mental health issues?
Yeah,
Okay, and so
and
what support has been given to Tyler, or what services has Tyler received to address any of those concerns?
so back after in 2021, he punched my brother in the face, and we had the police report, the cops came. We said that, he was having problems, he was saying that he took his light bulbs out, people were following him, people were stalking him on the
Okay.
road, doing all these things, and he punched him, and we said that he needed to get help, that we wanted him to go to, to Wyandotte Hospital and get, looked at and everything, and he got released.
Oh, okay, I understand that.
And that's when he lived in his car for 3 months.
Okay,
Because
so,
it was-
And
but I haven't heard anything about what as a family unit have you done to assist Tyler in having any mental health services?
Okay, before we would let him back in the house after he punched Adam in the face a couple times. And that was after his uncle had had back surgery 2 months before that, was unable to protect himself. The conditions of him coming back in my house was to get a job, go to work, and go to some kind of counseling. Okay, he was like lacking on the work, did find one job after that, but he did go to counseling. He went to Team Wellness, and he did it probably for about 2 or 3 months. Then he just quit doing it.
Okay, so you went to Team Wellness for 2 or 3 months?
Went there a few times. Like I went there
Okay,
twice, 2 months at one time, another time I went for a couple months too.
okay, and so were you given a diagnosis?
No, not really. I didn't really stay there long enough. I found an outlet through like mixed martial arts.
Okay, sir, and that's great that you have an outlet, but sometimes if there's some imbalances going on, then you need to have those imbalances
They're gonna.
correct it as best as you can.
I agree with you. I think counseling can help anybody, but I also know this, they're gonna say whatever favors their word.
I don't know what that means.
Pretty much, I guess, whatever favors their statement. It's not gonna be the truth. I'll tell the truth with my hand.
Wait, I'm sorry, who's saying that's not the truth?
I think it's twist and turn for their favor. I think everything they say, it isn't the full truth. You're just getting part of it with favor.
Okay, let me just be very clear, okay? What's actually happened throughout the time is somewhere in the middle, okay? Because the family that's sitting over there has their perspective as to how things have occurred. You have your perspective as to how things have occurred. But what's actually occurred is somewhere in the middle. Okay, there's clearly a lot of issues going on. There's a lot of anger, there's a lot of frustration, and quite frankly, I'm sure that your aunt and uncle are angry with you because of how you're treating their mother, who took you in to raise you, much to your dismay that I'm saying that, she raised you. Whether you think she did or not, she raised you. If she didn't, where would you have been?
Give me a roof. Give me food.
She got you to and from school, correct?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. She provided food for you.
Yeah.
She provided clothing for you.
Yeah.
She provided holidays for you.
Yeah.
Did you participate in any extracurricular activities?
Yeah.
Okay, so she did all of that for you, sir. Okay, which is what a parent does for their child, whether you're biologically their child or not.
Yeah. I
So-
never accept that.
So to say that you raised yourself is not accurate at all.
Yes.
She may not have sat down and gave you lessons and said, okay, today's our lesson on tying knots. Today's our lesson on cleaning the house. She may not have sat down and taught you all that, sir. But I'm sure you've learned quite a few things.
Spend genuine time with someone you're supposed to love, since I never got that.
Okay, sir, and sometimes that doesn't happen in every family. Sometimes it doesn't happen.
And even.
And sometimes, let me just tell you this, sir, okay, let me just tell you this. Sometimes individuals are doing what's expected, what they think is expected, what they have to do. And it sounds as though it's always been a full house at the house. So it's also, it sounds as though your grandmother takes care of everybody. Takes care of everybody. Everybody moves back home because she does such a great job of taking care of everybody, they don't want to leave. So clearly she takes care of everybody. Now, does that mean that she may sit down and have one-on-one conversations? Probably not. Not with all the individuals in the
I
home.
just isolate myself.
I'm sure you do, sir. So you need to go back to counseling.
I do it because nobody, just how they are. You can't like, you can't even look at them or talk to them. They throw fits. You can't do nothing. They get a little scream so loud when they don't get their way to where their voice will crack. And then I just go upstairs.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot.
All right. I'm trying to figure out a good place to deposit. For people that came in late, Mimi, I honestly don't remember the last person that asked what's going on. So the three people you see on the video on the right, it's grandma, that's the uncle, and that's the aunt. They are trying to kick them out of grandma's house. Grandma owns the house. There's 8 people that live in a 4-bedroom house. One of them, I don't know. I think it's the aunt has her husband and 2 kids. The uncle, I don't know. Grandma, I don't know. But there's 8 people that live in this house. The kid that you can't see on video yet. Again, they'll show him here in a minute. He has a big attitude problem. He's not leaving. I guess they're trying to legally kick him out of the house. That's what's going on. All right, that's the last time I'm going to say that. So hopefully, if anyone shows up late, this still goes on for another 15 minutes. So hopefully, that's the last time I need to explain that. Not saying that whoever showed up late, but you guys know.
Yelling at the house.
Well,
And I'm sure it's on account of everybody, not just 1 or 2 people.
Usually I know how to isolate myself because I don't want to deal with it.
Well, sir, but listen, you went and took Powerade. There was something that was done for you. You were mad that they didn't listen to what you said when you said you didn't need anything.
I wasn't even that mad until.
Oh, no. Stop. No, you can't tell me that. You guys, you went and poured out the Powerade.
That's pouring out
Somebody that's
Powerade.
not mad doesn't do that.
I wasn't.
All right. Since Heineken just got here, I'll explain it again. So the three people. I'm joking. Ha 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 ha. Hi, Heineken.
No, I just. Okay. You're
So-
gonna have your answer. I don't know. I'm gonna process.
Here's why don't you work?
I do find work. I apply for 30 jobs. I have emails for right now. Every time I don't have a job, I work. Part of it is because, well, the workforce is really terrible at the moment. People are toxic, and a part of it is because of myself. I take accountability for what I've done wrong, but I also do take accountability for people that done wrong for me. It's just life. It's how it is.
It is, and that's life.
It is. I agree. There's been times to where, I have gotten my issues with my own life, everything gotten the best of me because, just not being the brightest, not thinking of the big picture, just being in the moment, just too much, if that makes sense. And there's just, I don't know, it's life. I could elaborate more with it, but it's on point.
Well, no, sir, that's part of life, right? It's not all sunshine and roses. It's hard, right? People aren't always nice. People don't always look at you the way you think that you should be looked at. People may give a side eye and it really means nothing, but people take it to mean something.
To me,
So,
because when I work 8 hours a day, let's say when I read for an hour, when I train for 3 hours, and I come home, and it feels like a whole other job. Like it feels like I can't even just go in the kitchen, get something, run upstairs and just, watch TV and go back to work, go do what I like to do for a little bit. It's hard. It feels like I'm just going to a job to where I'm going home, to where I get treated like shit, and to this, and I'm.
okay, sir, I can understand you're comfortable, but remember, we're still on the record and we're in court. So you may think that you get treated.
You have to be mean enough. I can't even put it in words. It's crazy.
Sir, when you live in a home that has that many people, everybody needs to pull their weight. So to think that you're going to go home, just go right up to your room and do nothing, that's not realistic.
I would actually what I would do is I'd wake up in the morning, stretch, look at the sun, meditate. I'd read a book, I'd go train, I'd go to work, I'd come home, I'd try to have a positive attitude. And I realized the more happy I got, the more people were envious of me. And I questioned it, like I'm poor, I'm 21, my mom's in a trailer, my dad's in a trailer, I'm a nobody. So why is this?
It doesn't mean you're a nobody, sir. It doesn't mean you're a nobody. Everybody's a somebody. So, okay, so can you go live with your mom?
I don't choose to because my mom does drugs and she gets beat by this black guy, I feel like it would be it wouldn't be somewhere I would thrive in. It would be something that would send me in a system I would never leave.
Okay, so what about your dad?
He don't want nothing to do with me. He has a whole other family he raised. I reached out, My dad's better than my mom, but no one's better than nobody. I mean, my dad, I guess, has a more structure and he's more stable.
Okay, well, sir, it doesn't sound, first of all,
I'd rather be on the street. I'm fine with it.
well, you don't need to be on the street, but how did Thanksgiving go? Ready?
It was fine.
All of you were together?
No, Jacob, I worked all day, so I was at work for Thanksgiving.
Okay. Tyler, were you home?
Yeah, I was upstairs. I would go eat with them on Thanksgiving. I just feel like there's nothing ever positive, and it's Thanksgiving. Like if I want Thanksgiving, I want it to be like smiles, conversation, people having a good time, not just people having this odd energy.
Well, it appears as though there's years of frustration, anger, animosity, right? And sometimes the negative outweighs the positive. It's easier to have a negative mindset than a positive mindset. And so sometimes it's hard to understand and accept the reality of your family dynamic as opposed to what you want it to be. And just because it's not what you want it to be, doesn't mean that your family is awful. Your family is your family, right? You may not all get along, you may not talk to your uncle who's married to your Aunt Katie.
I don't talk to Jacob either. I don't talk to any of them. I choose not to, because every time I try to reach out, they just, even before all this happened, it was the same thing. They can say it's the same thing. It's always going to be something. I mean, they'll mention things to when I was 12 or 9.
Okay, well, sir, all right, listen. And I can understand that there are certain things that happen during childhood, right? So, but if you're holding on to that,
I'm not though.
no, you are.
They mention it. I'm
Sir,
just telling them.
I'm just letting you know, from what I'm observing and what I'm hearing, everybody's holding on to a lot of stuff from a lot of years. Jacob, do you and Tyler communicate?
I would say no, because I try to, like he said, ignore him, because every time you talk to him, when he asks you an opinion, Tyler doesn't like my opinion. If he asks me a question, he doesn't like my answer to his question if it doesn't agree with him. Like for something as simple as me disagreeing, he says he knows everything about psychology, and I say you can't never know everything about psychology.
That statement.
He's using it as an example. It sounds like he's an example.
As an example, then we'll get in an argument to the point where he gets I think he gets so angry that he stops trying to communicate with you, and he's more important for him about being right, and then it becomes shouting after that.
It sounds like that's a common theme at the house.
I go for a run actually, and they just.
You what?
That's wrong. I actually go distance myself every time they start getting frustrated, and I go for a run or workout. But I tore my meniscus, so I haven't been able to do it. So now I just do a bunch of push-ups and pull-ups.
Okay. Jacob, have you ever thought about, instead of coming back at Tyler with, no, you can't possibly know all of it, nobody can know everything about psychology, just hearing what he has to say?
I had tried to say that before, but maybe I could probably do it more, yes, but a lot of times when I talk to him, it always ends up me walking out, because I can't take it no more, because I'm not gonna sit there and argue.
Well, and you're also the adult.
Yeah.
I understand he's also an adult, but he's also, the child in the dynamic, okay?
Also, like a lot of it.
I'm not going to apologize for saying goodnight to my girlfriend. So you guys can all, you guys can know what you want to do. Heather, good night. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Thank you for being here, and I hope you sleep well. I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Also, while I have it paused, Heineken, thank you so much for your donation. Now that I know your name, I can't. Troll to troll. I can't. But thank you so much, Heineken. Also, another donation came in. I just had the name up. Jane, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Jane. I appreciate you more than I appreciate Heineken. Just saying, even though Heineken's awesome, but appreciate you a little bit more. Just don't tell Heineken. Don't tell that guy that. All right, let's finish this case.
This whole situation, I agree with a lot of it. I think is just chaos, animosity, just being in the same house. And I know everyone else in the house gets along.
Because it seems though, because there's a common denominator that unifies all of you.
Most of us, for example, I work 40 hours a week, so I'm gone most of the afternoon, so I'm gone most of the week. With me, traveling, going back to work, I'm gone 10 hours a day. So I'll come home from work, to hear my mom crying, and she's crying because of the way Tyler's talking to her and the things that he's calling her. And that upsets me. And I think that's where this situation makes it angriest, because I know that my mom did a lot for him. When he hit my brother and he was allowed to come back, everyone else, he left. Everyone else didn't want him to come back. My mom, the one that got us all, let him come back with what she was saying earlier about.
Well, you stopped objecting to your mom letting him come back, but clearly the behavior has been, you don't want him there. That's from everybody. That's clear. That's clear. You don't want him there. And that's why you all get along, because you have a common denomination in that unites all of you, that you don't like Tyler.
I wouldn't say that's the only common denomination why we like each other.
Well, I can say why you all like each other, why you all get along. Because once he's out of the house, somebody else is going to be the focal point of somebody not liking something. Is it tough and frustrating to see how your mom is treated with everything she's done for Tyler? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you all live at the home, and there doesn't appear to be any sort of support for Tyler given circumstances and situations. Now, I'm not saying this is a pity party for Tyler. I'm just calling it the way I see it, right? He clearly needs some assistance, some emotional support, some mental support, things of that nature.
And
All of you,
to do it.
listen, all of you are refusing to do it. All of you are refusing to do it. Not one of you has taken any steps to help Tyler get into some treatment, maybe some inpatient treatment, anything of that nature. Right? I'm not saying that you haven't told him that he needs help or he needs to go see somebody. I'm not saying that.
We tried, even before all this became what it is. We were telling him that he needed to get help, that he wasn't right.
Okay, so if you're telling somebody that needs to get help, they need to get help. How do you want that person to get help if they don't know how to do it?
Well, his sister offered if he would call, we wrote down the number to the team wellness book where he started. She wrote down the number, told him to call, make an appointment, and she said, because she's using my car, she would take him to that appointment. And he didn't do it. And he just does things so off the wall, just like Katie had no problem with him. 7 months ago.
I thought I accidentally paused
She
it.
did her laundry. He went in the basement and spit on her clean laundry. Why would you do that?
You're correct. And so does that seem as though that's something that somebody that doesn't have a mental health struggle would do?
Yeah, and we tried to get him to, before the table, we tried to get him to go. We would help him, but he refused to go. You can't,
What does that mean? You would help him, but he refused to go. What does that mean?
We say, okay, call the counselor, set up an appointment. Most of it now is online anyways. You don't even have to go into the office. You go for your initial, then you talk to people on the phone. Anything I personally tell him to do, he doesn't do it because I told him to do it. And I've never, ever been mean to Tyler. And I've always been on Tyler's side.
Well, okay, and ma'am, I can give you props for stepping in where his parents did not, but as parents, right, we're mean to our kids. It happens, right?
Yeah.
We're not perfect, we're not invincible, right? So, it happens. So say you've never been mean to him. I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't have never been mean to him, right?
And
But-
even now I'm not. I
Okay.
still, let him eat our food, cook for him, tell him when it's done. I still do things for him. I gave him a ride to the store. I still done things even going through this. But he will not take the help that you offer to give him.
I have a counseling meeting on the 28th, and also I have a torn meniscus, and they laughed at me when I walked 24 miles there and back to work from Wyandotte to Taylor. They just laughed because they didn't believe me. Yeah, you did.
Hold on.
Because they thought I don't try or I don't clearly try to seek this help. I do it all on my own. I do it all. Like, what I mean by that is that counseling, you know, I have an appointment for the 28th of December that they didn't know about. I didn't want to tell them because, well, every time there's a positive, it just, I was told by people, you can beat negative with positive, but when it's so negative, you can't. And I've learned that through living it.
Okay, well, sir, part of what needs to happen as well is that you probably have to, in addition to going to some counseling, which is a great start for you. You also, I think, have to have a little bit of a reality check. You have to grow up a little bit because, not everybody is nice. And yes, when there's a positive, there's going to be a negative. Just we take a step forward, there's going to be 5 steps backwards. That's just how life goes. That's how it goes.
I agree, but families should be the one people that should.
Well, it should, but that doesn't always happen, sir. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes people have way too high of expectations of their family members. They just do.
I put people on a pedestal. Yeah.
Well, then don't put anybody on a pedestal. Put yourself on a pedestal. I don't know what to tell you. But at the end of the day, right, they've asked you to move out. There's not a legal basis for you to remain there. And you're going to have to find some place to live, sir.
Okay. That's fine.
And I certainly hope that for the next 10 days, which is the date that Tyler has to be out, I certainly hope that there isn't going to be anything that escalates the situation on anybody's part.
I'm sitting in the room in the dark, like, not for years. I'm clearly out of the problem. So, yeah.
Sir, listen, listen, everybody has a hand in this. Everybody has a hand in this.
I seem to be the only one who takes accountability.
Sir, but you're not the only one taking accountability. You're not the only one taking accountability. I mean, I don't know why Katie and her family of 4 is still living at the house with your mom. I don't know if that would change things. I don't know. And Adam, apparently he's on disability and maybe he can't afford his own place either. I don't know. Quite frankly, though, that seems to be a lot for Betty. That's a lot for anybody. I mean, I'm sure at some point she'd like to have some peace and some quiet. And it doesn't sound as though that ever happens at home.
Yeah, it's not. Tyler is the one that makes the noise and yells and screams, and Katie and her family's there so she can help me. And Jacob's there so he can help me too. I receive disability. You know, they help me out. They take me to my doctor's appointments. Katie cleans the house. Jacob, you know, takes out the garbage, cuts the grass, you know, everybody helps pay the bills. I could never live there by myself, ever.
Right, and Tyler, it doesn't appear as though you do much.
Yeah, I'm just a bum. I'll do that.
I didn't. First of all, don't interrupt
Essentially,
me.
yes. Yes.
I was about to say, it doesn't seem as though you do much to assist around the house because you've even testified that when you come home, you want to just go into your room.
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Because that's not what a family unit does, whether you like the people or not. You're still part there and you still have to still.
My shoes.
I'm sorry?
My lenses are my shoes. I can't elaborate everything, but I mean,
Okay.
it's just different when you walk in.
Everybody has shoes that they walk in, sir.
I agree, but I'm not talking about your shoes, you're going to talk about mine. But
You're not what?
I guess I'm not like having answers and questions to like your life, but at the same time, you're the one doing it with mine. You know what I mean? So that's why I said that.
Sir, the only reason I'm doing what I'm doing right now is because all of you cannot get along. They apparently have asked you to relocate and you didn't relocate. So now the court has to make a decision.
That's
There-
fine.
There's not a legal basis for you to not relocate. And so what I was trying to do was try to see if there's some forward progress to be made here, but it seems though everybody has their heels dug in and there really isn't anywhere to go. So, yeah, you have to be out the court. I'm sorry?
I didn't hear that.
You said 10 days.
I did not hear that.
Whatever
Is that
you
true?
proceed to do next, I think it's about over, but I could be wrong for
You
assuming.
think what?
I think the court hearing is about over, but I could be wrong for assuming.
Well, it's almost over. Court's going to order after hearing that plaintiff has the right to recover possession of the property. That plaintiff may apply for an order evicting the defendant if defendant does not move out on or before December 9th. You may be liable for money damages served if there's damage to the property. And obviously there's no payment issue, so there's no money judgment.
To the system.
I'm sorry?
Thank you to the system. Download.
Sir, if there was a legal basis I could have ordered you not out of the house, I would, but I haven't heard one and I don't have one at this point.
It is on your tongue.
All right. If you'd all like to wait for a copy, you can, otherwise it'll be mailed to the home.
I gotta walk back. So
I'm sorry?
I gotta walk back. Are we dismissed?
Yes.
Or?
So, okay. All right,
I'll wait for a copy.
okay. All right, we're going to go off the record for a moment. Ms. Lukoff,
Thank you.
All right, this is over.
have a good day.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Stop.
so.
Stop.
With.
me, Your Honor?
So,
Why do I
As
suck
far as
sometimes?
catching a ride, now, if
30 a.m.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward this. I don't know what I did. I thought I made this into 2 separate clips. Apparently, I didn't. The next clip is a half hour after this one. I thought I made it into 2 separate clips. Anyways, you guys made me change my mind. I thought everyone needed to leave grandma alone. I thought grandma just needed some peace and everybody was the problem. Everyone's freeloading off of grandma. Yeah, the kid isn't behaving himself and he needs to grow up. But so do everybody else in that house. Everybody in that house needs to grow up. So I was on everyone's side until you said he was on SSI. And the second you guys said that, it completely changed. My opinion just completely changed. Is that exactly what happened? All right. I do have this in multiple clips. I remember cutting it. I just don't remember where.
Okay.
So I think this ends here in a second.
Okay, cash only. All right, so we did. Okay, and then this is still on the record. All right,
I get my daughter.
and counsel?
Oh, Your Honor, I did have the opportunity to speak to Ms.
Okay, all right, good luck to you, and then we'll see you back on the 15th at 10 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
10 a.m., 10 a.m.
I can't preview it. I don't know what's coming.
Bye-bye. Okay, and then this is still on the record in the matter of Riverview Owner LLC versus Shaquila Price, 2302049. Okay, Ms. Price?
All right, so this is the next clip. I'm afraid it's going to cut out. I'm afraid I made another editing mistake, which, I'm so good at this. So apparently I make editing mistakes in every single video. But this is a longer video. I didn't watch the whole hour-and-a-half video. So that was the first one. Now we're going to watch the second clip from DiSanto. This one's good. This one's good. This is a true landlord-tenant case that's going to make you pull your hair out. Hopefully, there's no editing mistakes and it just plays right through. Yeah. Right when I hit play.
And search a video.
Right when I hit
start off
play.
your appearance, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Cheryl Luckoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Now we're good.
All right, thank you. And ma'am, if you can please place your name on the record.
You talking to me? I'm sorry. Me?
That's okay. Yes, your name, please.
Okay, Shaquila Price.
Okay, and I apologize for the wait. I know that you and Ms. Luckoff were in a breakout room for a while, and then I had an in-person hearing to handle. It took a little bit longer than expected. And so
That's fine. I'm
counsel,
on my lunch break now. I'm on my lunch break
okay.
now.
Okay, all right.
I get my daughter.
And counsel?
Oh, Your Honor, I did have the opportunity to speak to Ms. Price. And I'd like to set forth a couple things. Number one, this court did enter an escrow order, and I don't know if this court remembers, but it was not paid. And then the defendant had a funeral. I believe it was her father, she indicated, so she did not appear. So this was adjourned. She still has not put the money into escrow. So I'm asking for the court to order that that is done immediately. So that's number one.
Okay,
And
let me handle, let's handle one at a time. So, Ms. Price,
Yes, ma'am.
there was an escrow order entered in this matter. Why haven't you deposited any money into the escrow account?
Because I informed Ms. Luckoff I didn't have anyone to take me, and the day I asked my family to take me on the funeral, nobody ended up doing it. So it was kind of like I didn't have anything to do as far as catching a ride. Now, if you guys don't mind, I will start spending some of that rent money that I have saved alone, so I can do that, because I would be able to get Lyft and Uber rides for me and my daughter. Right now, like I told her, I walk back and forth to work every day. So
And where is it you work?
I work at Rivergate Terrace. My daughter goes to
Okay.
school in Southgate, so I have to walk a little bit of distance so we can get to her friend's house so her friend can take her to school.
Okay, so, well, Ms. Luckoff, so we could do a little bit of an amended escrow order. She could send it to you via money order, and then you could deposit it in your trust account. We could do it that way.
How does that work? I don't understand.
So in essence, it would be held in a separate account where, but you would be able to send it to her via money order through the mail.
Via money order in the mail. Okay, so, okay.
Well, because here's what I'm saying. So we just confirmed that we can only accept escrow orders or payments for escrow orders by cash only.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, Jonathan. I just saw your message and now it's gone. You said Michelle has been hidden? I just saw your message and it's gone. Was it fixed? Do I need to go do something? I'm not gonna wait for a response. I'll read what you say in the chat, but I don't want Michelle to be blocked. She's very important to the community. So, Jonathan, please respond.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that you can't, it's not advisable to mail cash.
Right, that's why, and that's what I told her
So-
earlier, like last time we
Right.
met, I just don't, it's thousands of dollars.
Can anyone see Michelle? Does anyone know where she is? I've been looking for her all night. Anybody? Anybody? Michelle. This is just me being a smartass.
So now attorneys have they have what's similar to an escrow account, but it's called the client trust account. Unless Ms. Luckoff, you have an escrow account also, I don't know. But
Just a trust account.
you can send the money order to her and she can deposit it into that escrow account or into that client trust account. So that would be one way to get around the lack of transportation issue.
Okay.
Unless
See, my concern, Your Honor.
Go
ahead, sorry.
Uber or Lyft to the court.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If I cash it, sure, but it's not like I'm using literally my money that I've used is coming, and I'm literally using what I have after my other bills get paid, since I've had to, as I was told before, DT is my responsibility. So even though we have no heat, and I've been heating my house through my stove, as I was told, I have to pay more than what I used to pay prior to other expenses. And that's understandable, fine, if we're gonna do it like that. But if I cash those things, or cash even one of them, I'm gonna be short again, and I'm not gonna take that responsibility, because I could have easily just left, claimed that I abandoned it, go get my car fixed. I could have done every single thing, but all I'm asking is, what do you want me to do in the safest manner? Now, I asked my cousin to come in town. She said she only has Friday off. She will drive 4 hours to help me get there, but that's fine. I can't do anything in between. My family doesn't live here except for my adopted parents, and they were here, my dad and my mom. So I'm trying to work with you guys. Like I said, I informed Ms. Luckoff we didn't have no heat and we had other issues. She's very aware of that. I've sent all the messages to her. I get that. But again, I even went up to the building yesterday thinking, oh, hey, I just wanted to ask you guys when we're getting heat.
Okay. So.
Your Honor,
Ms. Lockhart,
may
how-
I respond? I'm concerned about a money order being.
Hold on just 1 second. So there's some options. I mean, she can bring it here Friday, or she can go to Walgreens on her way to work, or she can stop at 7-Eleven or something on her way to work and grab a money order and mail it in.
No is also worth a pause. No, thank you so much. He's the one who pointed me towards these clips. I don't really watch DiSanto too much anymore because there's so many people that do. So I rely on him to tell me when DiSanto has good clips. So both of these are thanks to him. So thank you, No. I hope you feel better. Have a good night, my friend. Sleep well. Get some rest because I'm going to need you tomorrow as well. So get your rest. Thanks, buddy.
Or what is the amount that she's supposed to be paying for her escrow?
I see, actually, I know that it was, I want to say 1250, but let me pull up the escrow order, Your Honor. Give me 1 second. So I think it was a little less than the actual rent that was agreed to, so. give me 30
Gonna make you
seconds.
dinner and then I can work, okay? That's nice. Okay.
Okay, and it is making me log into my file, so give me 30 more seconds.
Get you some dinner. Gotta go back. What else do you have? What is that? Sand? Oh, who gave you that? That's nice of you.
All right, it's taking its time here. Okay, let's see, file stamped copy. And, oh God, stupid here. Yeah. It is 1250, Your Honor.
Okay, and
So
so.
that is,
Your Honor,
I'm sorry, what's that?
can I respond to some of this right now? Because I frankly, I've been doing this.
I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm just trying to figure out this escrow thing in just 1 moment. Ms. Price, how much
Yes.
money do you have to deposit for escrow?
I can put up the 2 months. I'm going to put up the 2 months, but I really feel like the fact that I had to go through all this, and I did tell them this, we had to take upon our own self, and I did tell Ms. Luckoff that I have my own representation for this because they have ignored us for so long. And I said, when you have a kid who wakes up and there's mice in your bed, that's a draw for me.
Okay.
And I even had a picture to show them that I
Okay.
found and called.
Just 1 moment, Okay, Ms. Luckoff, your
Your Honor,
response?
a few things here. First of all, if now the defendant is indicating she has representation, then her lawyer should be here. So that's number one.
I just did tell you that. You said whatever the situation is, you can handle that on your own. I said, okay, well, I have representation for that. I did tell you
But then
that.
that's not with respect to you, that was with respect to another issue. So.
But I said it was pertaining to the entire.
She just put on the record that she had representation. So that's why I want to be clear if we're moving forward,
Okay.
that there's no representation in this action.
Okay, Ms. Price, do you have legal representation in this action right now?
Not at this moment. They told me they will call me back later on today because they got caught up with something else.
Okay, so you've made contact, but you don't have any legal representation right now?
Yeah, because my job, I was explaining what happened to my job. And
Good night, Nancy. I hope you feel better.
From my job.
Okay, so currently she does not have any legal representation. So for the record. Okay.
So with respect to this escrow, I'm concerned about a money order being sent in the mail, frankly, and then we don't get it. And then there's a whole to do with that. So I have been doing this for 25 years. Never before have I had a court accommodate a tenant who can't bring escrow. You find a way to do it. I mean, she's ignored the escrow order, and this has gone on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
And
Everybody else gets up to the court and gets that escrow into the court. So and everybody has circumstances, I get it. And I also understand that, and I believe the heat is expected to go on today, but the tenant doesn't have heat. That's not okay. I'm not trying to pretend it is. But when there's a court order, it has to be complied with.
Excuse me, Your Honor?
So, Ms. Price, I'm going to indicate this. I presume it's somewhere, it would be less than $30 for a round trip Lyft or Uber from your apartment to the court if your family member is not bringing you on Friday. But by Friday, you need to have that money deposited into this court's escrow account.
Okay, Your Honor. I understand that Ms. Luckoff is saying because this is drawn on for weeks and weeks at a time, but if I've been going through this for months and months at a time, where does that equate? And where does that equal if I have been calling and leaving messages and coming out of pocket for all this stuff on my own?
Hold on just one moment. Hold on just a moment. That is why it sounds as though this matter is going to be adjourned to make sure that the issues that you've raised are being addressed. What's gone on for weeks and weeks is the fact that you did not comply with the court order, nor do I have any, hold on, please.
Okay,
Nor do I have any information that you contacted the court to let them know that you are unable to get here to court to deposit that money. There has not been any communication to that effect. So when she's talking about going weeks and weeks, she's referring to weeks and weeks of the court order not being complied with. So I understand we're going to adjourn this matter. I'm not going to get into a back and forth regarding what's working, what's not working, anything of that nature. I know, ma'am, that you've indicated you had a hard time getting to the court because you don't have transportation. I understand that. But I am ordering by December 1st, which is Friday, the escrow order needs to be complied with. That money needs to be deposited.
Okay. I did tell Ms. Luckoff, Your Honor, that when I called her on the 16th, that I told her I did not have a ride, and she said, let me call. She even called me, and I called her back. She even said, well, let me see what I can do. I told her I did not have a ride. I'm not trying to be defiant. I currently do not have a ride anywhere, especially, and I'm trying to get a ride with my dad's funeral. I did tell her that on a personal phone call when she called me.
Okay,
Your Honor, I'm not even responding.
Okay, no, I'm not, ma'am. I've indicated I'm not going to go into back and forth regarding this.
Okay.
I understand you've already indicated.
You're on the 12:50 on Friday.
Please don't interrupt me so that you can hear everything I'm saying. Please don't interrupt me.
Okay, sorry.
What I'm ordering is that you need to comply with the court's escrow order by Friday, December 1st.
Okay.
Okay, now, counsel, December 15th, is that sufficient?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, does that work for you?
Oh, I just need to know the time so I can figure out work stuff.
Okay, let's do 10:30, counsel, because the other one we just said at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
10 o'clock or 10:30?
Your Honor, if I could just put two more things on the record.
Yes.
Okay, the heat is expected to go on today. The boiler company is there, so hopefully that'll be resolved. The defendant also indicated to me that she has a mice problem. And so they treat every Tuesday. They're making a special trip tomorrow between 10 and 4. And I just want to have on the record here that my client has permission to enter without Ms. Price being there.
Ms. Price? Okay, Ms. Price, is that permission or no?
I did say they have permission, but I would like a call. That's all I asked. That's all I've ever said. That's all I've ever told the company. Just give me a call when you're.
Okay, just a moment. So they have permission to go into your apartment with you not being home. You just would like a heads up call.
That's all. It's not like I don't have.
Ms. Luckoff, is that something that can occur?
I mean, I'll certainly put in the request. I know, that's all I can do. I know that they're busy. They're making a special trip out for this particular tenant. I have a number of 734-375-1909. I will pass that along and ask them to call when they're on their way.
Okay, thank you.
So, Miss, Your Honor.
And I'm sorry, what was the question?
What am I supposed to do as far as, because when I paid for rodent pest control out of my own pocket, what am I supposed to do to that? Because when I sent it to them, or I walked to the office at that time and gave it to them, they kind of was like, oh, well, okay. And that's it. And then the other one was like, I'm not really sure that you're
Okay. Oh,
there.
okay. All right. So
What do I,
since this is being adjourned, I don't want to get too far into everything, but that's also something that's taken into consideration on the 15th, when it's coming to a resolution as to what any amounts owed should be, right? So if you have documentation to that effect as to what you paid out of pocket, send
Yes,
that
I
to Ms. Luckoff
I
ahead
did.
of time, so she can. So
I did
she
not
can
receive it,
have
so
that.
please resend it. You said you have documentation of the cost of the rodent. I
Yeah,
told you
I
the two
sent-
emails I have. So
I sent
if you could please resend it.
with all the downloads that the rodent pest control had took throughout my entire house that he found. And I sent
I'm
other
just
little,
asking you to resend it because I don't have it.
but I did though.
Okay, all right, so resend it, please. Anything else, Ms. Luckoff?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, we'll see everybody
That's
back on the 15th.
Thank you very much.
What time? I couldn't,
10:30.
10:30. Okay, I will write it down.
All right, thank
Did anyone else just feel that just right? That went on for way too long, right? Right? That went on for way too long. That should have ended 5 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago. Heineken. There's a lot of people in here that I see in court chats every day who come back and rewatch these things. I don't know if I could do it if I didn't have a channel. I don't know if I could rewatch these same clips over and over again because that one gave me a headache at the end. It really did. There was a question. I don't remember the question. Christy asked it. Oh, if I'm going to have a 7K stream. This was kind of it tonight. 7K is a big deal. And I'm very appreciative of everybody, but my next big stream where I'm going to have like a big party celebration will be when I'm remonetized in January. And shortly after that, it'll be 10K. So that's what I'm looking for. So this is my impromptu 7K live. Yay, everybody. Finger dances. 7K live. All right. We're coming to an end. I'm watching. I'm looking at the time bar. I think we still have like 20 minutes left. I've got 2 Mechanico clips back to back. And somebody calls Judge Mechanico Your Majesty. And it's kind of hilarious. You guys want to see it? You guys want to see somebody call Judge Mechanico Your Majesty? I mean, he's a good-looking guy. I don't know if I'd call him Your Majesty, though. Anyways, damn, I want my money back for you. You know what, Heineken? You know what? I'll show this up for everyone that replays this. Heineken, what do you want? What do you want, man? You want a lap dance? You want me to shake something? What do you want? What do you want? Because I'm not sending your money back because I appreciate it too much. And I know you don't want it back. If you did, I would send it back to you, by the way. All right. Speaking of which, if you guys would like to donate, my link tree is in the description. And hopefully one of my beautiful mods will put the twerking. Jesus Christ. Why did I say that? Hopefully one of my mods will put my link tree in the description and we can just move on from this. Why? Why do I say the first thing that comes to my head? My mouth gets me in trouble. All right, let's play some clips. If I get enough donations, maybe we'll see. We'll see how you guys perform, and then you can see how I perform. How about that? Boom.
Morning, Maya. Call it.
Cordell Sherman, calling case 230-601-3601. People of the state of Michigan versus Cordell Jerome Sherman. Defendant charged with count 1, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder by strangulation. Count 2, domestic violence. Aggravated second offense notice. Defendant's labeled as a habitual offender, second offense notice. Today is the date time for a bond redetermination hearing.
Good morning, Judge. Always a pleasure. Steve Vincent for the people, P71917.
Good morning, Judge. Neighborhood Defender Service by Jackie Pilkowitz, P81653 on behalf of Cordero Sherman. Mr. Sherman, state your name for the.
I like this prosecutor too. This defense attorney is amazing. This is the first time I've seen her. She is amazing. I'm just going to say that because I saw somebody, I think Michelle said you like the prosecutor. I like Mr. Vincent too, but this defense attorney is awesome. I want to hire her. If I'm ever in trouble, I'm going to look her up and I'm going to hire her.
Judge, please.
My name is Cordero Sherman.
Argument.
Your Honor, I believe bond is currently set at 10,000 cash or surety. We're asking for a 10,000 personal bond in this case. It's my understanding that this case involves Mr. Sherman's fiance, with whom he shares a 4 or 5 month old child. He, of course, understands as a condition of bond, he's to have no contact with her. He can stay in Romulus with the mother of his other children. I have a verifiable address for the court if needed. Your Honor, Mr. Sherman works 2 jobs. First at Special Way Auto Parts, doing auto mechanic work, and second as an extra set of hands at the Masonic Temple for events, doing cleanup, concessions, things of that nature. Your Honor, with regard to the allegations, of course, I don't have the police report in front of me, but what I will say is this. It's my understanding that both parties were drinking. Mr. Cordero Sherman admits that he does have an alcohol problem for which he is interested in doing outpatient treatment. As the court can see, Mr. Sherman has a black eye with a mark on his left eye. That is apparently from an iron, which was used by the complaining witness. All of that to say, Judge, is I think this, I'm not sure about the likelihood of conviction in this case, first and foremost. And second, it's obvious that these 2 parties just need a cooling off period and need to be apart. I don't believe a cash bond is necessarily warranted under these circumstances. So I'm asking for a 10,000 personal, no contact with the complainant. And again, I can give you that address in Romulus if the court needs for Mr. Sherman's other child's mother.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor.
Judge, first off, I want to start by saying I respect defense counsel. I think she's a zealous advocate. Respectfully, I think she's a little off on this one. First off, this defendant's already on probation. He was on active probation at the time of this offense for a weapons conviction. He's going to be on probation through next year. Complaint's not on probation. Defendant's on probation. Now, in this particular instance, Judge, and this being a second DV offense, he was just convicted of a domestic violence in 2018. Allegedly, we have a defendant who ended up stomping on the complainant's face to the point where he dislocated her jaw. He dislocated her jaw because he stomped on her face. And this was diagnosed at the hospital because she had to go to the hospital after the defendant ended up assaulted. Judge, as well, the police had observed at the time, without knowing about the jaw, that her right cheek was swollen and there was blood coming from her mouth. At the time, the police ended up coming to the scene. And Judge, on top of all of that, we do have a DV history. There were reports made by the complainant against the defendant in 22. In 2 other separate instances, there weren't charges being brought. Judge, this is a second offense notice for the DV regarding the defendant, not the complainant. This is a second notice regarding this defendant. So there's an enhancement here. I thought 10,000 cash surety was a little bit conservative. I do agree with defense counsel. I believe that the defendant does have an alcohol problem. I believe he was intoxicated at the time of this offense. We would be asking on top of the tether that the magistrate ended up issuing. We would respectfully ask for that alcohol tether as well.
What are your client's work hours?
Judge, I believe he works Monday through Thursday. It's a 12-hour shift. Mr. Sherman, what are your hours?
My hours is from like 10 o'clock in the morning to like 8 o'clock at night. It could go longer than that. And sometimes I work at the Masonic Temple from 11 o'clock at night to like 7 o'clock at night. I mean, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's only during events though. Events are not.
I got you.
Oh, that
Court
wasn't.
haven't heard the arguments of counsel. Court finds the $10,000 cash bond is an
We were saying.
unaffordable bond. In order to have an unaffordable bond, the court must have a showing or believe that the defendant is by clear and convincing evidence that the defendant is a danger to the community or a danger to the witness or a flight risk. Does not have any information that would make me think the defendant is a flight risk. These allegations, court does find that there is a danger to the complaining witness. Allegedly arguing over a phone call, chest bumping, fist to the jaw, stomping on heads, defense by the complainant with an iron, alcohol, repeat offender allegedly. That's a lot. Court, with that being said, the court is going to reduce the bond to 10,000 personal, a no contact provision, a curfew of 12 p.m. to 6 a.m. And
Judge, do you mean 12 a.m.?
I mean 12. Oh, I guess that is a.m. Yes.
Midnight.
Yes, 12 a.m. Sorry, to 6 a.m. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. All right, Mr. Sherman, I'm going to give Tammy a call. Fill her in. I anticipate you should get out Friday, Monday at the latest.
Judge, there was, at the time of the issuance, I believe there was a tether as well as the curfew. Is Your Honor going to continue that or take that out?
I gave him a tether and a curfew.
Oh, okay, thanks.
It's 12. I just amended the time to 12 a.m. to 6 a.m.
My apologies, sorry.
No problem.
All right, Mr. Sherman, you take care, okay? We'll touch base when you're out.
All right, next case, please.
Have a good day, everyone.
You also.
You as well, Miss Attorney. She was awesome. Reagan is good, and Reagan, I don't know how I know all of you guys watch court, right? All of you watch court. Reagan is kind of one of the more senior people in the public defender's office, and he's been mentoring. I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Bird, and Bird is getting better. Bird needs to sit there and watch her, because Bird is imitating Reagan, which isn't bad. Reagan goes all out for. If you guys watch McConaughey every day, Reagan goes all out. But Bird needs to watch someone like the attorney we just saw. He needs to change it up a little bit, not just copy Reagan all day long. Just my opinion. Here. Now, all right, another question. I know I keep pausing. Whatever. Why? So this is Chief Judge McConaughey. Why does all he do? What? How can I better ask this question? He only does bond redetermination hearings as a chief judge. Is that once you're the chief judge, that's what you do? Why doesn't he try other cases? He just does bond redetermination. Is that just how the cards fall? Does anyone know the answer to that question? If anyone knows the answer to that question, please let me know.
Yes, Wayne County Jail.
Who you need next, ma'am?
Whoever you have.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Anyone you have, Deputy.
Okay. It's Mr. Thomas, sir.
Okay.
If that's what you get when you're chief judge, you get
Colin
these
case
kind of cases.
19.
Can I go
I'm
to
all
the
for
breakout
it.
room, please?
Sir, wait 1 second, please. 1 second.
Calling case 19059135501, people of the state of Michigan versus Cedric Thomas. Defendant is charged with count one count of child support failing to pay. Today is the day and time for a bond redetermination hearing.
Good morning, Judge Steve Benson.
Your Honor, and good morning. May it please this honorable court, Philip Reagan, on behalf of Mr. Cedric Thomas, judge who's appearing via Zoom today on a capious $500 cash bond. He turned himself in on this failure to pay child support, Judge. I was going to be requesting the court reduce it to a personal bond. I would note that Mr. Thomas has a few failure to appears, Judge, but he was incarcerated and locked up from March until August. Then he went to teen wellness after that, Your Honor. You know, and I understand that there are some issues that he has. He's filed for disability. He's working with teen wellness. This is a 2019 case, incident date 2013. So I'm respectfully asking for a personal bond for Mr. Thomas, Your Honor.
Mr. Prosecutor.
Judge, I'm just gonna put it out there. Since the date of offense, he's been on probation for an R&O felony as well as domestic violence aggravated. In 17, he was convicted of a CCW. In 22, he was convicted of a felonious assault. He's currently on probation. Your Honor, I don't know if there's been any intent here, at least a goodwill intent, to try to pay for the child support. I'll leave this one up to you. I think defense counsel is right. It's a $500 cash bond, multiple cases.
Court, I haven't heard the arguments of counsel.
This guy keeps leaving me hanging.
Court is not inclined to keep a person in jail for not paying child support. Mr. Thomas, it would probably help you in paying your child support to stop getting arrested for other things. The less time you spend incarcerated, the more time you can work. You know, have a biweekly check that comes in, and maybe part of that check can go to to friend of the court, or you can directly pay whoever you owe child support to. I don't think it does you any good to stay in jail. You're not going to help with that child or be in that child's life, but you have to come to court, sir. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Okay, well, no, I have to go that far, but just Your Honor is good. But when is Mr. Thomas's next court date?
December 21st, Your Honor, 2023. PCC exam, December 28th, 2023.
Okay, sir. So December 21st at 8:30. Is it Jefferson that he's in front of?
Madam Clerk, is
Yes, Judge Jefferson. You need to zoom in. You don't even have to come down to the court. Zoom in on December 21st at 8:30, Judge Jefferson. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 500 personal, GPS tether, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you, Judge.
It gets better. It gets better. Hold on. The joke's not over. The joke is not over.
Your Majesty, I mean, Your Honor, that was 10 to
Here we
6.
go. I knew somebody was about to come with it. I knew it. I knew it.
Me too.
That's good. That was good.
Good morning, what's your name?
Good morning, Calvin Glaze II.
Calling case 230-601-5301, people of the state of Michigan versus Calvin Eric Blaze II. Defendant charged with count 1, robbery, armed, serious injury, count 2, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation. Defendant's labeled as a habitual offender, second offense notice. Today is the day and time for a bond redetermination hearing.
Judge, always a privilege. Steve Benson for the people.
Phil Reagan on behalf of Calvin Glaze, Your Honor. He's here for bond redetermination.
50,000 cash.
That's correct, Judge. And Your Honor, I don't have a whole lot of information on this case in terms of the facts, but from what I can see, I have some of the information. I can tell you that my client is 35. he has a prior attempt CCW from 2010, over 10 years ago, Judge. So I don't think that's important. Now, this case, Judge, allegedly happened in August of this year, August, but they didn't sign a warrant until Monday for some reason. They didn't sign a warrant until Monday for this. Now, we're talking about, is this over a console, a game?
I can actually answer this a little bit. So yeah, it's a judge in a different court. They're not going to change a judge's bond in a different court. If it's somebody in their court, they usually will contact them before the hearing, and they will talk about changing their bond if it needs to. But McConaughey is the chief judge of this court, so for the most part, that's what he does. He does bond redetermination hearings, and then he sets them out to the other judges after the bond redetermination hearings. But you're right. One judge will not change another judge's bond. They won't change the bond conditions of another judge. They won't do it because the matter is in front of that judge. But if they have a different charge and they face a different judge, they're not going to change the other judge's bond orders without talking to them first. I don't know if that actually answered the question or not. Maybe I just talked in circles for like 30 seconds. I don't know. Hopefully it helped.
System, Nintendo stuff. And I don't know, Judge, if it was more of some folks getting together, arguing about some things. You might have owed me some. And it might have got out of hand, a little fisticuff. But I don't know if it was really a robbery, Your Honor. It might have been more of some debts or I don't know, Judge. But I just don't think it was an armed robbery per se. The people.
How old is the defendant?
He's 35. Just got 8 kids. He got 8 kids. He has to support. He's got children.
We fight and taking a Nintendo Switch. That's the little one that the kids, when you're on the road trip, on the AAU trip, and
Right.
kids are in the back seat, the little handheld. That's what we hear over the Switch.
And it's not what happened as they try to portray it, Judge. There's more to it. And I hate that he can't talk and tell you what really happened, but it's.
All right, this is going to be the last time I pause it. I'm going to let it play out. So this is going to be my goodbye. And I can actually answer this. What prompts a bond redetermination? I actually know the answer to that. It's when somebody can't afford the bond. When they're arraigned and they can't afford the bond, doesn't matter what it is. It could be $1 and they might not have $1. So if they're still in jail or incarcerated after their arraignment because they can't pay the bond, then they're automatically set up for a bond redetermination hearing. At least that's how Michigan does it. Every state may be different. This is how Michigan does it. So they go in front of McConaughey. And in front of McConaughey, he will hear from the prosecutor and the defense to see what's an actual bond that could possibly be made, because a bond isn't supposed to keep someone in jail necessarily. A bond is supposed to protect the public and make sure that defendant gets back to jail. That's what a bond is for. So the high cash bonds, which you'll hear Reagan say a lot, it doesn't make sense. Because why set a $1 million bond when they can't afford it? It doesn't make sense. You might as well just say no bond. But everybody is given the right to a bond unless you have, unless you essentially killed somebody. So that's what these hearings are for. They're bond redetermination hearings. They go in front of McConaughey. After these guys spend like a week in jail, they'll go in front of McConaughey and he will say, he'll listen to both sides. And 9 times out of 10, he lowers the bond, which a lot of people give him grief for. But that's what it is. All right. But that's it. I'm going to let it play out for the rest of the time. I've talked a lot in this video, and I'm not going to say sorry for it because you guys all tell me to stop saying sorry. So I'm not apologizing. 7K special. Thanks again. 7,000 subs. This is freaking amazing. I can't believe I only started this channel like 5 months ago. This is awesome. You guys are awesome. If you haven't already done it, please like and subscribe. I'm pretty sure I got all of the donations. I'm just double checking. I don't want to miss any. I did miss one. But I don't feel sorry about it. Because she knows that I apologized to her. And I did say thank you to her. But we got everybody. If anybody would like to donate, now's your time. You got about 5 minutes to get a shout out from me. This guy. That was so bad. That was so bad. Don't donate. Don't donate after that. That's bad. I'm leaving. Thank you guys for coming. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for all the support, the likes, the subscribes, everything. I appreciate it so much. My Discord link is in the description. If you guys want to come hang out with us, yeah, all the good stuff. I'm going to let this play out. And you know what? I will try to I'll redirect us to, generally the only person that's still playing at this time is KCC, but it's almost 10 o'clock. She might even be off now. But if she's still playing, we're going to raid her channel. If she is still playing, I'll see you guys there. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. Seriously, thank you. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.
It's not, it wasn't an armed robbery. It was a lot more to it. Yeah, some folks got roughed up. Yeah, but it unfortunately, it took them about 3 or 4 months to figure it out before they signed it. It wasn't like they could sign it right away. They had to try to make some things, into a report. But regardless, Mr. Glaze does not participate in this type of behavior, has not done so in 35 years. He has his children, he's taking care of his kids. So I'd ask the 50,000 cash. Sometimes we get bonds based on what charges look like, and because it's a life offense. But Judge, at the end of the day, this armed robbery is probably gonna go away so quick at the exam once the facts come out. Now it may be reduced to something different, but not an armed robbery. I'm asking.
I got you, Mr. Prosecutor.
Judge, the defendant allegedly pistol whipped his cousin multiple times to the point where he put him in the hospital because he needed stitches on his face. I mean, with all due respect to Mr. Reagan, I don't know what report or what information that he got that he's telling you about, but this was a robbery where a gun was used, where it just continuously got, forced on another, his cousin's face, to the point where allegedly, Judge, and I do have the hospital records as well, where the defendant's forehead and his lip were swollen, and then he had a laceration over his ear because the defendant was pistol whipping him in the head that required stitches. And it wasn't just a Nintendo console, it was the money. There was over $600 that the defendant ended up taking from his complainant cousin. And there is an additional conviction for domestic violence that happened subsequent to the time that Mr. Reagan ended up saying that one conviction just for an attempted CCW. Oh, and by the way, the reason why he ended up getting arraigned was because he got picked up for another case that is still under review because he got caught driving a stolen car. So he'll be arraigned on that soon enough.
Got it.
Yeah, Judge. So, okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Based on the nature of the offenses and based on the fact that the complainant knows this defendant, had to go to the hospital as a direct result of the substantial injuries that he sustained, I think the charges are right. Now, I don't know what's going to happen at exam, but I know what's happening right now and what I see. All the allegations, the offenses, the priors, how he got arrested, the injuries. I think the 50,000 is appropriate here, Judge. We would just be asking Your Honor to continue that.
I just don't want him to believe everything he sees, Judge, because sometimes what he sees is not what is reality. So I just want brother prosecutor to know, don't believe everything that you see on paper.
Floyd,
What
I'm sorry, Mr. Reagan.
Oh, no,
Continue.
I'm sorry, Judge. I apologize.
I got
No, hold on, guys. I gotta keep it moving today. We have anyway, I don't want to get into it. Anyway, court, I haven't heard the arguments from counsel. A 50,000 cash bond for an armed robbery is an unaffordable bond, but it's an appropriate bond. It's not excessive. Court in this case, there are some unique facts. There's the family background. There's whether the family member is going to come to court. There is whether this really happened over the.
He's not wrong.
The little switch.
He's
that
not
kids
wrong.
play with that grown men would be stealing switches and Nintendo Switch. Let's be very specific. Not like a switch for a gun, but the little handheld thing. So with that being said, court is going to reduce the bond from 50,000 to 50,000, 10%, GPS tether, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, and no contact with the complaining witness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, did you say 50,000, 10%?
Yeah.
Judge, and he doesn't have $5,000, Your Honor, and he's not going to go around his cousin. I mean, if the court says have no contact with the cousin.
I'm not doing a personal bond for an armed robbery. I mean, I don't, I'm not doing a personal bond for an armed robbery. Now,
Judge, so can
I understand, and that's why the 5,000 may still be unaffordable, but for the nature of this offense, court finds that to be a more appropriate bond than 50,000. And I appreciate your advocacy.
No, and I appreciate you, Judge, in explaining what your reasoning. And I know this court knows how these things are charged sometimes ridiculously, but I do understand what the court's position is, and I appreciate the court taking its time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.